guys, it's Kimmi. I know you're here for the video and I'm gonna let you get right to it. But first, I have to tell you about the Notary Business Success Mentor Program if you have not heard. And it includes everything you need to get started in your business to teach you how to properly notarize using our course, Notarize Like a Pro. Apostilles, field inspection, ink fingerprinting, you name it, we got you covered. So check it out, including weekly live trainings and a 7-day-a-week chat. Oh yeah, you heard it right, 7 days. So check it out, notaryeducators.com. Bye. Enjoy the video.
Morning, peoples.
This is another edition of us in these notary streets. Today, let me just go back. I always have to go back. Welcome to those who will join us on the podcast. Those who will watch the replay. Hello, hello.
Turn right onto.
Okay, bad area. We are live. So anyway, we are on our way to a loan modification package signing. That is when a document is the original loan is being modified. So typically those require a witness, 1 or 2. Hey S. Thompson, how are you? Good morning. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, so that's what a loan modification is. It's only 2 signatures, literally, guys. 2 signatures, okay? They typically pay between 50 to 100 plus, depending on, you know, who you're signed up with, how long you've been doing it. If you're a great notary, if you know how to notarize like a pro. Hey, Lisa. Lisa, we gave you a shout out last night. You were gone, girly, about your website. We gave you a shout out because your website is really looking great. I mean, your videos that you put on there. I wanted to ask you, what were you doing? So just FYI, I know you may not, or I don't know if you go back and watch the replay or not, but we just wanted to give you a shout out, okay? You know you have a flower to go with every outfit. Love it. I do. Actually, one time a friend asked me, how many flowers do you have? And I went back and counted them. I have almost 100. Almost 100. People gift them to me sometimes. And then when I first started doing it, I don't know if I ever told y'all the story. I'm going to tell y'all really quick why I went natural. And why I started wearing a flower really quick. Some of you may not know the story. And then we'll get back to notary stuff, because we talk a little bit about everything, right? So anyway, I started wearing a flower like 15, almost 20 years ago now. No, 15, about 15 years ago. And I was working in an area here in Atlanta, and my hair is natural. You guys see it most of the time curly. I like mine kind of that wet curl look. But I was wearing it kind of more like a twist out. I'm trying to make sure the lighting is good. I was wearing it more like a twist out. I don't like the lighting. Is that too much? Okay, sorry. I'm trying to get the lighting for you. Yeah, I was wearing it more like a twist out. So it was a little bit bigger. Not big as some of these nice young girls that have big hair, like. But it was a nice size fro looking like. So anyway, I was working in this area, and when I first went out there, they were not accustomed maybe to seeing people with hair texture like that, even in their late 2000s, okay? I mean, this wasn't that long ago. So anyway, they were looking at my hair more than they were looking at everything else. And I said, wait a minute, we can't have this. And I was not the only black young lady there. There was another one, but no one else's hair looked like mine. So anyway, I started putting a flower in it, and it toned down the whole atmosphere, right? Everybody started focusing on the flower. Where's the girl with the flower? I love your flowers. So it took you know, all the viewing of my hair, it minimized that. It wasn't all about my hair anymore. It was just about, where's the girl with the flower and the smile? So that's why I started wearing a flower. And then it actually just became my signature brand. So anywhere I go, when I worship, wherever I go, if I don't have a flower in my head, people are like, are you sick? Are you feeling okay? So I have something to match my outfits, as Lisa stated, but then I also have one that I just leave on my nightstand. It's just a white one. So if I go out, just run into the grocery store or wherever, I'll just throw it in my hair. So now I almost can't leave the house without it. Like, I need my glasses, I gotta have a flower. I will give you one more hair story, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about what I came on here to talk about is when you don't have a printer, how can you still do this business? That's what we're here to talk about. The last thing is about my hair. I had another situation. Now that was when both of these were working at the bank, when I was still working at the same bank. I went to another location in another part of town, still kind of suburb of Atlanta. And my manager had my teammate, who was wearing locks at the time, to tell me my hairdo was an extreme hairdo. And it was some cute twist out, y'all. My hair was dry. When my hair is dry and is in a dry state and I do a twist out, it looks really good, right? But it's just hard to maintain it, my fingers and stuff. So that's why I don't do it more. I actually love it when it's just twisted out. I'm going to get to the topic, guys. I see we got a lot of people joining us today. But I had to tell you about my hair. So he told her that my hair was an extreme hairdo. And he told me too. But he had her to tell me. So she kept telling me, she said, Kim, look at my hair as I'm telling you what I'm getting ready to say. Again, she said it 3 times. Look at my hair as I'm getting ready to tell you. Because she had big old locks, like for real, dreadlocks. So anyway, I don't know if they still say dreadlocks, but at the time they called them dreadlocks. So she says, look at my hair. So then she says, he want me to let you know your hair is an extreme hairdo. So I go in his office and he tells me about my hair. And I was like, really? I said, and he's black, African American at the same time. So that's what really floored me. I would have thought that he would recognize, hey, this is not extreme. This is how here nowadays, He pointed to my wrist and he was like, Kim, we got to do a little bit extra. We got to do a little bit extra. And I was like, braids when he hired me. I had just come off vacation. So when he hired me for the job, I had braids. And then when I came back about a month later, I'm wearing a twist out. So he was like, what is this? Whatever. And I say that too to say this, even when it comes to us dressing in our notary, when we go out for our notary jobs, make sure you're professional. A lot of us are wearing hairstyles differently than we used to back in the day. Now it's acceptable to wear colors in your hair and pink this and blue that. Just make sure it's very neat and professional, because people still look at that. We do have the right to do whatever we want to do when it comes to our dress and grooming, the way we dress ourselves. We have the right to do whatever we want to do, right? I could really go in there with a big old red bow of a red hair, all red if I wanted to. People do have red hair. My mother loves red hair. She was trying to get the redder the better. Hey guys, we got a lot of people, so don't hesitate to drop your questions. I'm getting ready to get into the part about the printer. But my point about dressing, though, is for real. Go out dressed for success, okay? Don't go out like you just rolled out the bed. They are rolling out new, as a matter of fact, I even get in some signings that I get now, in the instructions, they tell you to make sure how you're dressed, okay? They tell you that. So, and I like what Notary Down South is. And that's the same thing. And I'll be honest with you guys, if we are too extreme and we walked into some title and signing companies or whatever, they may not do business with us, because a lot of times we think we can do, like I just said, we got the right to do whatever we want to do. But that still means the person behind the desk may not hire you, okay? Because they do not like your extreme look or your different look, okay? Let's just be honest and clear and adults here. So sometimes if you want to play in a ball game, you got to wear their uniform. Okay, you don't get to wear what you want to wear. If you want to play for Atlanta Falcons, Dallas, Texas, or whatever, you don't get to wear whatever uniform you want to wear. You get to wear what they tell you to wear if you want to play with them, right? If you want to play in their game. So it's the same thing out here in these streets. I always make sure my husband, and he goes out very professional, if you can't tell. Say, hey, Jeffrey.
Hey, I just thought about she was talking about.
Oh, hold on. He want to say something. I'm going to drink my smoothie while Jeff talks.
His name but a quick second.
Speak up, eh?
It wasn't going to be but a quick second. I heard some comedian. It was a documentary or something about hair. Who did that? Was it Chris Rock?
Chris Rock. Mm-hmm.
Did something about probably about 10, 15 years ago about hair, and I think it was in that one. And in that one, one of the comedians, I don't know if he's still alive or not, but he says the people are relaxed when your hair is relaxed. When we do the relaxer, but if you go with a fro or something like that, then people get, they start getting nervous and carrying on. So to the point, how you dress and how you groom can affect depending on where you go. That don't mean you gotta not be yourself, but you just have to think about where you're going, and as was already stated, I think divert the attention. That's all. A little tip.
I like that, Jeffrey. Y'all remember that movie? It was called Good Hair.
Yeah,
Chris Rock.
Good hair.
Yeah, he
Good
was
hair.
walking around talking about, you want to buy some black hair? He had that hair in that bag.
Didn't nobody want to buy it.
What'd you say, Jeff?
Didn't nobody want to buy it. They was like, no, they don't want that hair.